Japan, a nation of resilience, tradition, and innovation. Japan, a land of rich culture and stunning beauty. A land where ancient temples stand in the shadows of neon skyscrapers. A nation shaped by volcanoes and typhoons, yet driven by discipline, resilience, and innovation. From mythical origins to technological dominance, the story of Japan is one of contrast, continuity, and quiet strength. The story begins with legend. According to the ancient Shinto belief, Japan was created by the gods Izanagi and Izanami. Their divine union birthed the islands of Japan and countless deities, or kami, believed to inhabit natural phenomena. From their lineage came Amaterasu, the sun goddess, who is said to be the ancestor of Emperor Jimmu. This divine genealogy gave the Japanese monarchy a sacred foundation, with Emperor Jimmu said to have ascended to the throne in 660 BCE. Though archaeological evidence does not confirm these myths, they form the spiritual backbone of Japanese culture. Shinto, the indigenous religion, emphasizes purity, ritual, and a deep connection to nature values that continue to resonate throughout Japanese society. In the 3rd to 6th century CE, Japan saw the emergence of the Yamato state in central Honshu. The ruling elite built massive keyhole-shaped burial mounds known as kofun, revealing a complex and hierarchical society. Cultural exchange with the Korean peninsula and China was transformative. The Japanese adopted Chinese characters, which gave rise to the first written language, and Buddhism, which would deeply influence Japanese art, architecture, and philosophy. The establishment of a centralized court system, a Chinese-style bureaucracy, and legal codes marked the Asuka period. These developments culminated in the Taika reforms of 645, designed to consolidate imperial power and reshape the governance of the land. In 794, Emperor Kanmu moved the capital to Heian-kai, modern-day Kyoto, beginning the Heian period, Japan's classical golden age. This was a time of aristocratic refinement, where poetry, painting, and court etiquette defined elite life. The imperial court became the center of culture, producing works of profound beauty and subtlety. Lady Murasaki Shikibu's The Tale of Genji, written around the year 1000, is often considered the world's first psychological novel, portraying court life and romantic intrigue in exquisite detail. While the emperors reigned, it was powerful noble families like the Fujiwara who held real power, acting as regents and manipulating the throne through marriage politics. Meanwhile, outside the capital, provincial warriors began gaining influence, a sign of the samurai age to come. Narrator. By the late 12th century, civil conflict erupted between powerful clans the Taira and Minamoto. In 1185, Minamoto no Yoritomo emerged victorious and was granted the title of shogun by the emperor, marking the birth of the Kamakura shogunate. The samurai class, steeped in loyalty, martial skill, and a strict code of honor known as Bushido, came to dominate Japanese society. The emperor remained a symbolic figure, while real power lay with the shogunate, a military government headquartered in Kamakura. Japan faced external threats during this period. Mongol invasions in 1274 and 1281 were repelled, with the aid of fierce storms that sank enemy fleets. These were celebrated as kamikaze or divine winds, reinforcing Japan's sense of providential protection. The Ashikaga shogunate that followed the Kamakura fell into decline, giving rise to the Sengoku Jidai, the Age of Warring States. For over a century, Japan was a battlefield of rival daimyo, or feudal lords, vying for power. 3 ambitious leaders would change this. Oda Nobunaga began the process of unification with ruthless military campaigns. His successor, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, completed much of the consolidation and even invaded Korea. Finally, Tokugawa Ieyasu defeated rival clans at the Battle of Sekigahara in 1600. In 1603, Ieyasu became shogun, founding the Tokugawa shogunate, and moved the capital to Edo, modern-day Tokyo. Japan entered an era of peace, order, and isolation. The Edo period 1603 to 1868 brought internal peace under a rigid class system. Samurai became bureaucrats. Peasants worked the land. Artisans and merchants filled the towns. Despite its isolationist policies known as Sakoku, Japan experienced immense cultural growth. Haiku poetry flourished under masters like Matsuo Bash. Kabuki theater dazzled audiences. Woodblock prints, or ukiyo-e, captured the floating world of courtesans, landscapes, and myth. The Tokugawa tightly controlled foreign contact, allowing limited trade through Nagasaki with the Dutch and Chinese. Christianity was suppressed, and foreign books were censored. Yet ideas and technologies still seeped in, subtly preparing Japan for future transformation. In 1853, Commodore Matthew Perry sailed into Tokyo Bay with black steamships, demanding Japan open to trade. Facing superior Western firepower, Japan signed unequal treaties, sparking internal unrest. Disillusioned with the shogunate's weakness, reformers rallied around the emperor, and in 1868, the Meiji Restoration restored imperial rule. But it was not a return to the past, rather, a leap toward the future. The Meiji government embarked on rapid modernization, abolishing feudalism, establishing a national army, building railroads, and creating a Western-style constitution. Students studied abroad. Factories sprang up. In just a few decades, Japan transformed into a modern industrial power. Modernized and confident, Japan asserted itself militarily. It defeated China in 1895 and Russia in 1905, shocking the West and announcing its arrival as a world power. Japan annexed Korea in 1910 and joined the Allies in World War I. The 1920s brought democratic experiments, but economic hardship and nationalism led to militarist dominance in the 1930s. Japan invaded Manchuria and later China, committing atrocities like the Nanjing Massacre. Driven by imperial ambition and a belief in its divine destiny, Japan attacked Pearl Harbor in 1941, drawing the United States into World War II. The conflict would devastate Japan like never before. World War II brought unimaginable suffering. Cities were firebombed. The atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945 killed over 100,000 people and scarred generations. Japan surrendered unconditionally, marking the end of its empire. Under U.S. occupation, Japan disarmed, democratized, and drafted a new constitution renouncing war. While the trauma ran deep, the seeds of rebirth were sown. The emperor remained, but as a symbolic figurehead. A devastated nation turned toward peace, reconstruction, and recovery. In the 1950s and 60s, Japan rose like a phoenix. With American aid, innovation, and sheer hard work, Japan's economy surged. Cars, electronics, and steel became global exports. The 1964 Tokyo Olympics marked its return to the world stage. The Shinkansen bullet train symbolized progress. By the 1980s, Japan had the world's second largest economy. But the bubble burst in the 1990s, ushering in a period of stagnation and self-reflection. Known as the Lost Decade, it challenged Japan to redefine its values amid global change. Today, Japan balances ancient traditions with modern technology. It leads in robotics, design, and entertainment, yet honors rituals, seasonal festivals, and the natural world. Challenges persist: an aging population, low birth rates, and complex geopolitical tensions. Yet Japan endures with grace. It hosted the 2020 Olympics amid a global pandemic, showing resilience once more. In its cherry blossoms, Japan sees not only beauty, but the transience of life. In its temples and bullet trains, its anime and tea ceremonies, Japan weaves a tapestry of time, memory, and innovation. Japan's story is not just of warlords and emperors, nor solely of technology and trade. It is a story of spirit of a people who revere the cherry blossom not for its beauty alone, but for its impermanence. In the heart of Japan lies a quiet resolve to endure, to adapt, and to honor the past while forging the future. This is Japan, a nation always becoming, a nation always remembering.